All right. Folks, sitting on the lawn of the beautiful New York Yacht Club in a postponement for some big breeze out there. We have the pleasure of seeing probably one of the two most knowledgeable people on earth about the C-Class, John Casey. Dave Hubbard, who's designed every East Coast Challenger, I think. You know what? Let's let you talk about it. Dave, what I want to know, I think, first is, as you've been involved for 50 plus years in the class, explain how it's evolved from what it started at to now.
Well, that's a tall order, but basically the boats were sloop rig boats with aluminum mast. And a few years later, we found out that unirigs were better than sloop rigs, or the jibs got smaller. We all recognized that boats had to get lighter and lighter and lighter. And then I think an Australian boat, Miss Nilex, was the first one that was a full wing. And I think it got everybody's attention. It was a heavy boat, but it won. But its wing was more like an airplane wing than what we have today. But that started everybody else, and me, I guess, in particular, on going to wings. And we went through a whole evolution of developing wings, starting in probably about 1978. Patient 83 won the championship, defended against a wing spar boat, Miss Nilex. I forget what it was. Sorry, but anyway, in Long Beach. But since that time, everybody has gone to wings, and Cogito was a development of it that Steve Clark and Duncan have campaigned very successfully, and then we gave a complete show and tell to the Canadians. They came down and we showed them everything that Cogito had, where we had gone right and where we thought we'd gone wrong, and they came back a year later and told us exactly where we were, and they just did a magnificent job of carrying on the evolution. They got an excellent group of guys, and we're now here with a collection of boats that all basically had their ancestry back to the original Patient 83.
Yeah. And we actually have Patient 86 here.
And Patient 86 is here too.
Yeah, cool.
Right. Yeah. So it's very gratifying to see that after me working on and playing with this for so long that we now have a lot of people interested in it and carrying on this.
Well, Magnus made the point that you really are the godfather of this fleet. Is it a little bit like having your children behind you?
Well, you might say that. He's very kind to say that. But yes, I guess I'm the godfather because I'm the only one that's around now that was there right at the beginning.
Another one, Bob Fisher, is going to be around here, I think, at some point. So the Fish is another. That's the other guy I was referring to before.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. And I'm looking forward to, because he was there in England when we were racing Sea Lion in '64.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
And Bob, I did an interview with Bob online about a week ago, and he was so excited about this, and he's here on other work, but he's going to make some time to come over.
Good,
let me ask you this one: when Miss Nilex had that first rigid wing, had you got? I mean, obviously, like Bob, I think sailed one of the first boats that had a wing mast. Okay, it was a spruce, I think, mast. But was it a jump that you had already been thinking about, or when you saw Miss Nilex, did a light bulb go off?
I think Miss Nilex gave me that impression, but the snap of the light was actually when I was making a business trip and sitting in the window and looking at a 737 coming into land and seeing all the flaps come out, and I said, "That's what we have to do. That's the way we have to go." Yeah.
John?
Well, speaking of flaps and everything on the wings here, Miss Nilex started out as the basic wing. You took it next, Patient Lady. Now, what was different there? What did you do different, and how did that, come to what we have today?
Well, Miss Nilex was a monolithic wing with a with a couple of 25% flaps. There was more wing, small flaps. It has evolved into more flaps. Some of them are built in, and some have a slot. And the main element, the number one, has been built now so that you can actually put twist into the number one.
Which was you came up with that, right?
No, that Duncan was the one that when we were working for years, he said, we've got to be able to do something about getting the twist and the getting the top from stopping it stalling. And I said, yes. But he is the one that actually said, okay, we're going to put a post up the middle and make the number one twistable as well. Yeah. So, and that's what they all have now.
That's what they all have now. How many years later?
Except for Patient Lady 6, PL6 is still.
And they're trying to do that right now in the shed, I think.
Oh, they are? Oh, I've got to go and see.
Let me, I asked Fred a question a little while ago about the point of diminishing returns. So obviously lots of interest here. If the Big America's Cup goes this way, we're going to see a lot more interest, I think, in this class and in wings in general, and maybe more money and maybe bigger teams that are using this as a minor league. How far away are we from a point of diminishing returns? Is it still, Fred says it's still an ideas class and big ideas still can make big differences. What are the big refinements left, or do we just not even know yet?
I don't know. I would imagine it might be getting them lighter. There is, again, I think you can build about too light, not for structural reasons, but just because it won't have any driving power. If you make it feather light, it won't have any, and it'll all be drag. With Class C, there's a top speed limit.
Right.
That they just don't go faster. But if you made it heavier with a shorter rig, you can make it go faster.
Right.
Yes, I think I was talking earlier to Ben Fuller about this, that with Oracle, it was a first cut, good engineering with some experience background based on Stars and Stripes and Class C. The next time, and it'll probably be the same way if it's multi-hulls with in AC34 with wings. A lot of people will be making their first cut, but after that, the next one is all the engineering effort is going to be spent in getting another 2% closer to the asymptote, to the absolute. But right now, they'll be able to build a boat that's 95% as close to the optimum as it will be.